Hey, welcome to Introduction to Programming using C++. This is Alex. What I want to show you today is the conditional operator. It's called a ternary operator, and it has three operands. So if we take a look at the code right here, we're declaring three variables, result of value 1, value 2. So the ternary operator works like so. You're going to have a question mark, and we're going to start to use technical terminology in C++ for branching, which is the if-else. For example, in this particular expression, we are using the ternary operator. And the way that you would read this is you would say, okay, let me look at the question mark, and for anything from the left is going to be my left operand. And then anything to the right is going to be my second operand up to the colon. And then after the colon, that's going to be your third operand. So how do these work in terms of ordering? Well, we always start with the first operand and evaluate that operand. For example, in this particular expression, this left operand represents a relational operator expression that we can evaluate. In asking the question, if is value 1 greater than value 2? Is value 1 greater than value 2? If it's true, if this expression is true, then this is going to evaluate. And the result of this will be stored in this variable. If it's false, then it will take this expression, evaluate, and then store it in this variable. Now, I am doing this in an assignment statement, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. If I didn't have an assignment statement and I was putting this in some type of cout expression, then whatever this evaluates to would be printed out to output, or whatever this evaluates to would print it out to output, depending on the result of the left operand. So let's take a look at this. Let's try and evaluate it manually, and then we can look at the result. Again, we look at the question mark. Anything to the left is going to be evaluated first, and we say, is value 1 greater than value 2? Is value 1 greater than value 2? Well, value 1 is 10 and value 2 is 30. We can confidently say that this is false because 10 is not greater than 30. Because this is false, then it is going to execute this expression. So the result, which is going to be 40, is going to be stored in result of. So let's run this. If I compile and run, see that? That's going to be 40. So let's flip the signs, actually, and you can see the opposite of what happens. If we flip the sign and we ask the question, is value 1 less than value 2? Is value 1 less than value 2? Yes, it is, because 10 is less than 30. So what happens when value 1 is less than value 2? Well, now this will execute and evaluate. So value 1 minus value 2 is going to give you negative 20. So if I execute that, compile and run, see that? The result is negative 20. Okay. Let's look at another example where we have a mix of relational and logical operators. Now again, same procedure applies. We look at the question mark, and we're going to take everything to the left to be our leftmost operand. So we're going to have to evaluate this, and depending on the result, we will either have this expression evaluated or this expression evaluated. So anything right after the question mark up to the colon means that my left expression for my ternary operator operand was true. If whatever was the right to the colon, then that means this expression is false. So if we were to evaluate this, we have to do what's in parentheses first. So if we ask, is value 1 greater than value 2? Is value 1 greater than value 2? No. So this is false. And then we say, is value 1 less than or equal to 2? Is it less than or equal to? Yes. No, it's not. So this is also false because value 1 is 10. Okay? So if we have a false here and the false here, if we think back to our truth table rules of the AND, logical AND, false and false will give you false. So the result of this expression is going to be a false. So what happens? Well, that means that this will get evaluated. So we're going to be adding value 1 and value 2, which is going to give you a result of 40. So if we do that, compile and run, we get a result of 14. Okay. Now, it is a little confusing when we start adding more operators and expressions to the left of the question mark. So it's not wise to put in a very complicated expression to the left. That's why as in the next lessons, in the coming up lessons, I'm going to teach you the if-else statement, which this is really a shorthand for an if-else. Again, if we talk about if-else, it's really if this, then that. Otherwise, this. Okay, if you want to think of it that way. And then again, anything to the left we have to evaluate. So anything to the left is going to be a Boolean result. It's either going to give you a true or a false. And depending on that, this does not have to be Boolean, and this does not have to be Boolean either. It could be a result, an integer result, or this could be an integer result. Okay. Okay. Any questions, please, you can always email me at parttimemagic@gmail.com. If you have any questions, please review the video. If you are ahead or don't understand relational and logical operators, I do have a video for that previous to this video. So I suggest you look at the videos first and then start with this the ternary operator. Thanks again. I'll see you next video.